Hello everyone, Karg here. Hello, it is Tuesday today. We are waiting for a very exciting guest, dear friend of mine, Tony from Hermosa Beach. He's going to be calling, he'll tell you a little bit about it, but I'm telling you, if you guys need a pep talk and some optimism, including myself, there he is, view, boom, let's go on. This is the guy, head cheerleader. We'll have him in a minute. Where is our head cheerleader? There he is. I was just raving about you, Tony.
I'm not having technical difficulties. I'm just pretending like I am.
Love you. I love you, man. No, before you were able to click in, I was just telling, if you guys have a bad day, just listen to Tony right now, and everything will be brilliant. We just got off the phone, by the way. I didn't want to be so abrupt, but it was a great conversation. So thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Before we're gonna get going, Tony, thank you for taking the time.
Come on now. All we have now is time, right? Let's do this thing, Mike. We've known each other 20 plus years. Don't tell anybody. Yeah. We're only 25. It's crazy.
Yeah. This is great. Let's get going with the first question. Who are you?
Existentially or by name? Existentially, I still don't know. I'm searching for myself, but they do call me Tony Drockton, and I refer to myself as the chief cheerleader of Hammitt. We're a handbag line out of Los Angeles that's swept the country. Doing quite well, but I have very little part in that. My team is kicking some butt. So good shout out to everybody. And our fans are amazing.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I mean, I've seen you in every step of your career. And if I can really rave about one person, I've told you that many times as well. I mean, talking about like just building something from the bottom up again. Remember back at 2008. No, it's just tremendous. I mean, goodness, this should be a movie about it. And I every time I see you, I'm just absolutely amazed by this energy, that drive. It's just so intense. And you have built a tremendous brand, Hammitt handbags.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Except it's been one bag at a time. 12 years, it feels like it's been sometimes 100 and other times like it's been a week, because fashion is so fun and challenging and also a real pain in the ass sometimes, but so fulfilling.
Unbelievable. Is that a fair question before we're going to get to question number two? If we ask how many bags do you have in, how much baggage do you have?
You know what? I say I carry a lot of baggage behind me, and now because I own Hammitt, I've got a lot in front of me too, because we got forward collections and back. So let's just say there's baggage all around. Yeah. But over the 12 years, literally probably hundreds of silhouettes and 800 fans, wholesale accounts carrying us all over the country, from the Montage and Four Seasons to a lot of mom and pop specialty stores and two big major department stores. And most importantly, just people like you that have, rocked a bag for your wife that love it. So,
no kidding, unbelievable, again, and it's timeless too. So everybody that does not know, you go, you'll do that. I know you have friends all over. You're very international.
In all the wrong places.
Let's move on to question number two. Where are you right now?
I am in my house in Hermosa Beach, California. I've been sheltering here in place since early March, and gone out for some runs and things, but in general, this is where I am. That's the opposite of you and I, who pretty much live in a metal tube that crosses the globe for you, and for me, all over the globe also. So the difference was December 15th to the middle of February, I was in 4 continents and probably did about 20 trips, and then things just shut down in March, and I haven't done any. I don't mind it. I miss it, but I don't mind it. And Hermosa Beach, not a bad place to shelter, I tell you.
No, I know. I do have, correct. I do have I just talked to Boris yesterday. So for a long time, he said the same thing as well. It's definitely a good place to live and so on. and to be sheltered in particular. And you still have a few places for takeout open, and you know, which is a great place. Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to question number 2. Question number 3, excuse me. How do you cope with all this, and how has it affected you, Tony?
You know, I think this is one of those times where I really reflected on the choices over my lifetime to find silver linings and positive parts of whatever happens. I really believe that's the secret to being present. And also, why would I choose anything else? So for me, this is just another opportunity to exercise the positive bone and to say to myself, what's this really about? So there's been a lot of gifts, a lot of gifts. I mean, look at this global act of love. Everyone stopped to support the greater good so some people wouldn't die. That's amazing. I think it's the first time you've seen countries that were at war all come together and make one choice to help the globe. That blows me away.
Mm-hmm. Well put. Well put. Question number 4. One word to describe the current situation.
I was going to say fucked. But
yeah.
But you know, that's a selfish word, right? Because really it's not. It's actually hopeful, the opposite. So that's where those choices come in. And it's both for most people. I mean, unless you make toilet paper, and then, you know, hopefully you're feeling a little guilty because you got the lucky draw, right? Mm-hmm. For most people it's a mixed bag, and unfortunately for a lot of people they're choosing the bag that's empty. I think there's just as much opportunity and hopefulness in this as there is in despair and difficulty. So, you know, you gotta find the opportunities right now in order to pull through, and there are a lot.
There are a lot, yeah. Well put. Well put. Thank you, Tony. That helps. That I also take this very strongly, and I love that. Question number 5, what positive attributes will you take out of all of this, and what have you learned?
Well, you know, I think I'll never ever take for granted a person walking past and smiling and saying hello again. I find myself, I love to do that in New York because it's a bubble and people would be looking down. But now, if you haven't noticed, when you are outside, almost everyone connects, at least a little bit of eye contact, an acknowledgement. We're all in this together. I'm really hoping that we don't take that for granted on the other side, because just an acknowledgement as a human being as you walk past each other, it goes a long way. First of all, I don't know if that other person's in deep despair and all they needed was a smile and bright eyes to come to the other side, and they don't know what I'm going through. So by connecting like that, it's amazing. So, and you're seeing the whole world do that right now.
Yeah, but I also have to say, though, I mean, Tony, you're pretty much one of the most positive person I've ever met. I mean, you cannot walk on the streets of New York. I've been with you to New York, and it's ridiculous. You can't walk a block because you're like literally just talking to everybody and striking up things, fun. Which is great. I mean, it's one of the things. So, I mean, now even more so. I mean, goodness, you must be on fire right now.
You know, Karg, it's funny because I have been told throughout my life that it's not real or you're fake. I have people say that to me. How could you be that way? And sometimes maybe it is. In full authenticity, maybe inside I'm hurting. Probably during those times in my life, and I've had divorce. I've had loss of best friends.
Yeah.
Okay? I've had financial hardship, and I've had some huge wins on the other side. But just because on the inside you might be feeling some pain, it doesn't mean you can still not give it your best on the outside for someone else. You know, they say if a person's really in pain, ask them to help somebody else that's dealing with even more pain, and both people win. So I think that's the philosophy that I have. So when I'm up, I try not to be too up because I'll vibrate at such a high level I might lift off the ground. And when I'm feeling really down, it's even more important to go there and go like, hey, what's the gift here? Always a gift.
Always a gift. Yeah. I mean, again, I've seen it all, what you have done, and I know you actually, no, the thing is this, you're actually doing what you're preaching. There's a lot of people out there just, having all the theory. But actually, no, you're not. But you're actually, everything you have said, you also have done, and that's, and I think there's also, you need to be a little bit that kind of, you need to have that you need to be born with that as well, and you're that.
Yeah.
You need to have that gift. I'm sure it's something that you can learn, but it's also something you need to be brave to do this too. It needs a lot of confidence as well. So
you put yourself out there, then you have to live up to it, which is, it can be some pressure,
Correct.
If I walk into a big party of all of our friends and I just go sit in the corner and no one's there, in general, within 30 minutes, people will be sitting going, hey, everything okay? What's going on? Because I'm the guy with the big hat chandelier on with the bling jacket and the 6-inch shoes that's running around having fun normally.
Correct. I've seen it. Yes, I know. And please don't change. It's always a blessing. Absolutely great.
I got enough costumes for a year, Karg. So what do you need?
If you could rename COVID-19, how would you call it?
COVID. How about COVID 1920? In other words, see the void, the emptiness right now of the streets, of the stadiums, of the skies, is also a clearing of the mind, of our environment, of our pre-thoughts of what the world could be. So if you see the void, you can see the hope and what's really happening here, which is a wholesale reset in how we thought the world had to live. Sure, financially, this is difficult, very difficult. And not going into the environmentalists or going into the animal world or going into everything else that's happening, because we know there's a lot of pain. Just simply, it does feel right to be able to see mountains. It does feel right to smell really good air. There's a lot of right going on. That's the void. So if you could see that void, you can also see on the other side, we can do a lot better when we do restart.
Beautiful. Let's leave it right there. I love it. Question number 7. When this is all over, what restaurant will you go to first, and what will you order?
Dude, Hook and Plow for sure. It's a little local restaurant started by a couple of twins. What are their names? I think it's like Lisa and Lauren, and they're great. Around like 5 years. They got a daily fish special, Hook and Plow, that I love. They got best mixologist drinks right on Pier Avenue. I can't wait.
Perfect.
I'll probably sit there for 5 hours and not give up my table.
Good. Awesome. What a great guest to have.
Yeah.
Order for 5 hours. I love
that.
Hey,
Helio.
Question number 8. Are you watching any online classes? Are you watching anything interesting on Netflix or any of those which you would like to share? Reading anything?
I'm not a TV guy, so I haven't had a subscription to cable for 20. I do have some streaming going on. I don't really Netflix often, but here's what I've been doing. I've been watching a lot of DJs on Twitch, on Instagram Live. I love music. It's free all over the world. I mean, DJ Nice, Sophie Tucker. Woohoo! These are I have it on all the time. And then I downloaded a couple like Quibi, which is that new 10-minute app for movies and TV shows, Quibi. I'm not sure if it's global, but some cool little shows they just dropped there. And so
cool.
I just
haven't heard about it. Quibi, huh?
Yeah, and I read Heidi Slimane. He's one of the creative directors of one of my favorite brands.
Hedi Slimonti, yes.
How do you say it?
Yeah, I think it's Hedi Slimonti.
Hedi Slimonti.
I think so.
You guys over in Zurich.
No. He had his breakthrough. He took Dior men's to a whole other level. That is why Karl Lagerfeld, according to Karl Lagerfeld, when he was still amongst us, he was the reason to lose the weight. Do you remember when he was more on the wider side and then he slimmed down?
Yeah.
He was Hedi Slimonti was the reason why Karl Lagerfeld toned down and started correct. Yes, that's it. Yeah. So he took Dior men's fashion to a whole other level. And it's funny. So he stopped And Dior kind of like for a minute when he left, kind of went downhill. And whoever is doing now Dior, I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
I think they got the touch back on. It's not quite what Hedy did, but it's
Still
really good.
brand.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is. And just so quickly, one more time, have you read a book about him? Also,
no, he recommended another art house movie app that's out. It's 30 curated movies to watch at any time. It's free right now for a month, and it's called MUBI. I downloaded it yesterday. It's free, and I watched my first art house movie, which was the follow-up from Johnny Darko. If you remember that movie, crazy.
Yes,
movie.
Of course.
And
yes.
It was 2.5 hours. It was called Southland Tales. If anyone's watching and you watch it, please judge me. It's a freak show. But it was actually shot, I didn't know, in Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, and in Venice. And it's all over the place. But I like art movies. I like things a little bit of the twisted and bizarre, but I don't like gory graphic. That's not my thing. I just like sci-fi and things that get your head spinning a little bit. So that's my new thing. And
awesome.
Then on top of that, no, that's it. I read a lot.
You read a lot, right? Yeah, you do. Question number 9. What's your favorite app?
Got so many. Devs, I have a saying, whenever I have a problem, there's an app for this. So I would say, Mix Captions, MixKaptions. It automatically puts captions below when you speak. I had a different app before, and this one leafed over it. So literally, as you're recording a movie, maybe for social, it'll put the captions right at the bottom. I love it. Anything that makes you more efficient and takes over what used to be time-consuming or manual processes, for me, any app that can do that is a winner. So a lot of business apps. Yeah.
Say again the name, Mix
Captions. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
It's
fantastic.
Magical.
Before I'm going to move on to the next question, can you show us your fingernails? What's on there?
Here's how long I've been in quarantine, because I got these painted literally 5 days prior to go to a Lakers game. They canceled the Lakers, and I'm just letting them grow out.
Of course, it's the Lakers called purple and yellow. Right
Lakers.
On. Of course, huge. Of course, a huge lake.
Yeah.
Of course, huge lake. Absolutely.
Then Staples Open, baby.
Yeah. Question number 10. What do you miss the most?
Oh, dude, come on. It's easy. You know me.
Yeah.
How do I greet people?
Yeah.
I got names for each one of my pillows right now. I hug my sculptures. My dog's never got more affection in his entire 13 years of life. I'm a freaking hugger, dude. So
yeah, you are
a warm embrace, dude. A warm embrace.
Yeah.
So
awesome, very good. Question number 11. Will you start wearing a face mask? Do you wear a face mask, or face mask mandatory in Hermosa Beach, LA, California?
You know, I'm staying in my house with my nephew and niece, and we've been wearing face masks for well over a month, even when we went out. You know, it's about me. The hard part during this, I think, time is to be so judgmental and maybe to shame others. And I think this is the time where you just want to put a mirror in front of your face and say, am I doing the best I can? That's all that's required. And for me to require others to do their best is pure lunacy. It's not possible to control other people. So by modeling the behavior I think people should do, I think that's the best way for us to all come together. So I think this is one of the masks I have made ahead of time. You know, we got a whole bunch of them. And then I can turn it around.
Go a little burp.
I can make it. We got blue.
Nice. Yeah. Let me ask you quickly. I saw something a couple of weeks ago on your short story. Did Fernando ended up making masks?
Those are Fernando masks that I just showed you. Yeah. You remember Fernando. So Fernando's
of course.
Small boutique here. Shop local. Support local. Please, it's super important right now. Really.
No.
Yeah. He started making them well before it was crazy, and I think he's probably made, between him and a couple people, thousands. We donated some to the police. We've donated them to all the friends in need. I had another resource up in Washington State that I ordered 500 early, got them, and we gave them, again, to all the local places that didn't have them for their team. So
super. Really awesome. That's great, Tony. Next question. One consecutive routine you have started doing since the crisis, something you haven't done before.
Well, my name is Chief Cheerleader, but you really know that I'm a man of no routines. So it's funny that they call me the cheerleader and I don't have my routines are, you know, I get up, I do what I want for the day, what I have to do, work and all that. I eat pretty healthy. So not a lot of that's changed, but I like variety. I'm the guy that walks 6 different ways to my office and goes to different coffee shops and goes, I like to switch it up. So I say the one change is just being in the house and being home and being comfortable with that. That to me is a change. I am an A-type guy. I like to go. I create movement. So I guess that would be the shift. Being comfortable sitting right here in this place right now.
Fantastic. Love it. Question number 13. You're doing great. 2 more to go. Thank you, Tony. What's your biggest worry right now?
I mean, financial. I mean, let's face it, guys. If someone's not worried financially, even about themselves personally, good for you, because you've done what is right. You saved along the way. But no matter how much, everyone's taken a big hit right now. So I'm worried not just for myself, but also for my company, but most importantly for my team, my hourly employees, my support team. They've got families to feed. It's a big worry. You know, the government's helped over here a little bit. You've seen it, but it's been start and stop. I think everyone has to focus on taking care of themselves the best they can during this time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you don't acknowledge that financial worry, then you can't focus on it and fix it. So I definitely acknowledge it every day. We don't know how long this is going to last. So I'm working twice as hard as I used to, and I'm thinking differently. And we're breaking a lot of rules, but also not breaking our non-negotiable rules in regards to what we do. So
before we're going to move on to the last question, Hammitt is sold on QVC as well, correct? And you're a QVC overnight phenomena sensation.
I got to do a victory lap after a 1-hour show in the fall. So we just did a 1-hour show. I joined by phone. It was fun. It's one of the many places that
was my next. Did you do in this times? Did you because now everybody's watching TV? I mean, what better you did?
Yeah, the people at QVC, they I think they resisted this, but they've opened up. They've got people joining by Skype now, remote by telephone. I don't think they'll ever go back, which is a great thing. So, I mean, look at us right now. You're over in Zurich. I'm here in Los Angeles. We're having a real-time conversation while people all over the world join in. This is how business and personal will get done. And you have to embrace it. You should embrace it. It's quite phenomenal.
It is quite phenomenal. No kidding. Beautiful. The last question number 14. And again, thank you, Tony, so much for taking the time and doing this from your beautiful home in Hermosa Beach. Question number 14. One last thought you want to share with everyone.
I thought about this. I thought I'd write it down.
The other way around.
Because you can't reverse it, so you got to read it backwards.
Oh, yes, that's right. Sorry. Because
so
it's flip side,
Make today your
bitch.
And what I mean by that is, more than ever, Karg, all we have is the present. To worry about the future is insane. And to keep bringing up the past is pointless. This is it, man. We got right now. And for a brief period during the shutdown, I think the whole world did that. And that was powerful. That was you felt the love. The planet glowed, right? Now we're going into that second guessing and there's dissensions you feel out there. Again, try to still focus on yourself and make today your best day. And if you do that every day, you'll have a series of days that equal a lifetime of amazement. No matter if some of those days were difficult, because you made it the best. It's going to be awesome. So, hey, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
So you're a hairstylist. So which picture would get you more excited? This one or this one?
Where are you?
Would you cut this hair and be super excited? Because there's a lot of hair for you to chop.
Oh my God, that's so the 70s right there. Oh my God,
you would
look
go to
at
town,
that.
wouldn't you? You'd be
I
like,
do
I'm
reckon.
so excited.
I do reckon.
All that hair.
I do recognize your mom on this picture. She's sitting in the very front. This is crazy good. Is this you and Riley, the other one?
You see flowing locks, Karg, and you just get super excited, don't you?
No, I'm actually, you know what? One thing I can say is, and it's funny, I've also gotten some response too.
Hey,
and
Chelsea.
not to toot my own horn, but sorry, a great haircut should last more than this pandemic. End of story.
I agree. You've cut my hair many times, and it grows in. It's great when you cut it, and it grows in afterwards. I remember you had an old T-shirt. It said, "Karg, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space."
By the way, I can take this correct. This was on my first collection of shirts, which, by the way, were also an LA brand. It was American Apparel.
Oh, yeah.
Shirt, and they don't even exist anymore. But Joni Day, actually.
Joni Day. She wrote that?
Joni Day. Well,
Big shout out for the Joni Day.
That's
the connection.
Wrote it, read it, whatever it is. But I have to give her all the flowers on that.
There's probably a reason she's a very successful executive producer at this point, isn't there?
Absolutely. And a great mom and everything. I mean, unbelievable. Yeah, 100%. Hey, listen, Tony. Yeah, listen, Tony. 1,000 thanks for taking the time today.
No problem. Erica says her haircut's still rocking, by the way.
Yeah, Erica, I'm very blessed by it. This is Erica, right, from New York City. She travels with me to Washington, D.C. She sometimes helps me out in New York as well, and also at trade shows. So she's actually part of the team. Great girl. Very blessed to have her as well in our circle.
Can I have you join me maybe next week back on Hammitt? I think I'd love to hear your story.
Absolutely.
Really
100%. Absolutely. Just send me a quick email and we'll definitely get that done. Okay. So,
Mr. Karg, I'm shooting this across the pond. Hopefully it hits you in Zurich, the land of fairy tales. I've been to the parade and all that. So love you, my brother.
Thank you so much for taking the call. All the best. Have a great day and say hi to the gang if you run into them.
Thanks. Bye.
Ciao, Tony. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.